Hello, welcome back to my channel. My name is Kayla and I'm talking about something kind of exciting today. Super exciting. Saying it's kind of exciting is really downplaying how I actually feel about it, so I'm gonna try my best not to do that. A few months ago, I made a kind of one-off vlog that I meant to continue, and then things kind of just got kind of crazy. But basically that vlog was about me writing a book. So I was doing Camp Nanowrimo. So basically NaNoWriMo stands for National Novel Writing Month. It is an event or kind of a process that people follow in November if they're trying to write a novel. But the same organization also has Camp NaNoWriMos, which is basically just you do the same thing but with less words. You're not necessarily writing the draft of a novel, maybe you're outlining or just writing in general. So I did Camp NaNoWriMo because I didn't even know that it existed until this year, and I made a vlog talking about a book that I was writing. So that book is now a full-fledged first draft. And this is it right here. I still kind of can't believe that I'm holding this in my hands, but it is 414 pages of a story that I came up with all by myself that is far from being complete, but well on its way to being something that I am very, very excited about. I'm also making a dedicated video about this on my channel because I already know that this is where I want a lot of my content to go towards. I have always made a whole mix mashup of content for you guys. I want to kind of try and focus that. So I was thinking about how to focus that content, and I think that in general, I am a storyteller. That's what I've always been, no matter what I'm creating. Whether that's a YouTube video or my first novel, I am a storyteller at heart. It's who I am, and it is what motivates my content, is that content is about a story, and it's the stories that people fall in love with, that motivate people, that make people cry, that make people change their ways and want to better themselves. It's all about the stories. So that's why I'm making this first dedicated video all about the story that I am writing, because there's going to be a lot more of that content on my channel, but I can talk about that in a different video. This video is about my book. So basically, I'm just gonna go over some of the details about how I wrote it, how long it is, what the next steps are, and I hope that you guys kind of get an idea of what the process is as a first-time writer. I mean, as a first-time novel writer, I suppose. I've written books before, but I've never finished. So technically, have I written them? Not really. I've done a lot of writing, but I've never finished a book. And I want to document the whole process of, you know, taking this book from an idea, a little seed of an idea, and making it into a full-fledged novel that's been edited, reviewed, published in some way, whether that's traditional or self-publishing. I just want to document this whole process of this different aspect of my storytelling. So let's just hop into it. Let's have some discussion about the book. My book is titled Blood of Amberum. I don't think that it's going to change. I think that this is the title, which is very exciting. It took writing like 70,000 words to actually get a title, and then I was like, oh yeah, that makes sense. So it is called Blood of Amberum. As of right now, it is going to be a young adult fantasy novel. So fantasy fiction is my jam. It's what I've been reading since I was basically able to read novels. I've been reading it since I was a literal child, and that's what I've always written in. So it is going to be fantasy fiction. Right now it's young adult, and I think it's gonna stick with young adult. Because there's nothing too extreme or too sexy in this book, so I don't think it would be adult fiction or adult fantasy or new adult fantasy quite yet. We'll see that. So I'm going to read you the blurb that I have on my NaNoWrimo account so that you guys can have an idea of what the story is about beyond just being a fantasy fiction novel. Even the blurb really doesn't have that much to it because I'm still working out the kinks, but I'll give it to you guys anyways. Emrys's life is looking pretty bleak. Her mother has been chronically ill for years, the immortal blood wars rage across the lands, and Emrys can barely hang on for the both of them. She has nothing besides her mother, and when they are torn apart as Emrys is dragged into the immortal land of Seirin, her only goal is to get back to her. But the land and beings of Seirin have their own truths to bestow upon Emrys, and when those truths come to light, Emrys must navigate the good and evil that have been so delicately intertwined into her own fate. So there you go. That's the little blurb, so that you have it. So let's go into some information, some technical information about writing my first draft so far. And I'll definitely go into details on some of this in future videos. But for now, it's just like a summary of the process so far. As of right now, draft 1 is about 110,000 words. I think my final word count was like 110,974 or something like that. So almost 111. I finished it on September 4th. I started writing it in March of this year, at the very beginning of March. I did a little bit of planning, but not much. Kind of just the idea came to me, and then I was like, I'm gonna start writing this in March. So in March, I wrote 20,000 words. In April, I did Camp Nanowrimo, and I set my word goal to 50,000 words. So my goal was to write 50,000 words in April, which I managed to do. Barely, but I did it. So by the end of April, I had 70,000 words, give or take a few thousand, because I also had quite the outline written out. So it was like 10,000 words of an outline at this point. So then things kind of started to get crazy. They were already a little bit stressful and hectic in my life before this, but then at the beginning of May is when I went back to Ontario, where I was one place for a few weeks, and then another place for a couple months, and then I left the country entirely and went to Holland for a few weeks. So basically, while I was in Ontario, I didn't write at all. I maybe wrote 500 words. That's probably it. I was just dealing with life stuff, so the novel was put on pause. And then I started writing again in August. So August, I was in Holland. I went to visit my family. And that is when I decided to keep writing. I think one day I got a burst of inspiration, and I was like, I have a story that I promised myself to finish. It's not gonna get thrown in the pile of unfinished stories that I've been collecting since I was 10 years old. This one's going in the finished pile. And I picked it back up again in August. I set myself, so basically on the Nanowrimo website, you can set yourself goals any month. It doesn't have to be one of their specified months. So I actually used it to track my progress throughout August. I said, I want to write 30,000 words this month. That would get me to 100,000 words total, which is a very average amount of words for a fantasy novel. So I was like, if I can just get myself to 100K, then I am so close to being done this novel, this first draft. Half of August was not going strong. The second half, when I tell you, it was like the stars aligned and something clicked into place. I wrote tens of thousands of words. I think I wrote 20,000 words over the course of a week. And then on the first couple days of September, I wrote another, because I think I was at about 100,000 words by the end of August, because that was my NaNoWriMo goal, and I hit it. And then the first few days of September, I was traveling for multiple days, and then I got back to where I'm staying, and I basically just sat down one night / morning / day and I wrote out the final 10,000 words. So yeah, in total, it was only about 3 months of actually writing. I think my outline grew quite a bit as well, and in the future, I'm gonna need more of an outline because I really didn't do as much as I should have in the outline. But 3 months of writing, 3 and a bit months of writing later, and we are here with our first draft of Blood of Amberum. What's next? We have to edit this bad boy. We're gonna go through and do some edits just like physically in this. I need to add some subplots. I need to add some more intricacies because there are things that need to make sense and that I have an idea of how to make them make sense, but they need to be like woven into the story that I already have. And then my goal is that by November, I'm able to send this to beta readers. That that is the goal, and I think that I can hit that goal. Also, we're gonna be doing NaNoWriMo prep vlogs as well as NaNoWriMo vlogs. So November is National Novel Writing Month. I'm going to have at least weekly vlogs prepping for NaNoWriMo in October, as well as the process of actually doing NaNoWriMo in November. So please like and subscribe if you're interested in any of that. I also have a book Instagram that I'm trying to make very aesthetic and very magical and interesting. So I'll leave that linked below. And then I do have a TikTok, which is actually where I've been making most of my book content, is on my TikTok. I am a heavy participator in book talk. So if you are too, you should definitely follow me because that's all I post about. So thank you guys so much for watching and for subscribing and liking and commenting. Don't forget to smile, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye.